Assalamualaikum, my dear students. I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So the topic here that we will discuss today, it is the introduction to steel. So when we talk about the steel, it is basically a hard, strong gray or bluish gray alloy of the iron. So it is basically made up of iron, and the iron, it is basically a transition metal, and that transition metal just belonging to the group or the D block element that has just properties like that of iron. And along with the iron, there is a percentage of carbon is also present that is making up the steel, and it is usually having some other elements that are used for the manufacturing of the steel, and at the end that steel is just used for the structural and the fabricating materials. So this is a simple picture of the steel which is having the color like from the strong gray to bluish gray alloy. And alloy, it is the substance. So the word alloy here we have, it is the substance in which the one metal make the bond with the other metal or combine with the other metal, or on the other hand where one metal is going to be combined with the other non-metal, then this combination of the different metals and non-metal, they are making up the alloy, and that process is basically known as the alloying. So steel is basically an alloy. Now, what type of the alloys are being present before this? Now, what is the main percentage of the iron containing the carbon in it is present? So basically, it is an alloy in which the iron can contain the percentage of the carbon. It ranges from 0.25 to 2.5%, and along with it contains some traces of the other elements, like it may contain sulfur, it may contain phosphorus, it may contain silicon, as well as it may contain some traces of the manganese. So they are making up the whole structure of the steel chemically. Now here we have the classification of the steel, that how do we classify the steel? Basically, we have the three classifications of the steel, in which the first one is called as the mild steel. Now, what does mean by the mild steel? Mild steel is a type of the carbon steel that contains a low level of carbon. So here the carbon atom is present at a very low level, otherwise known as the low carbon steel. So that's why it is called as the mild steel. That mild steel contains roughly the percentage of the carbon by weight, it is 0.05% to 0.25%. So this contain the low level of the carbon in it, and making up that mild steel. So here we have the picture of the mild steel that is used as a structure material for different purposes at commercial as well as at domestic level. On the other hand, this mild steel is used for different purposes, like it is used to making up the tubes, it is used in making up the different types of nuts and bolts. It is also used in the making up the different types of the bars, as well as it is also used in the making up different types of the boilers, plates that are used in the boilers where the temperature is very high. So that's mean it can be able to bear a high temperature as well. After this, we have the second type of the steel, which is the medium carbon steel. So medium carbon steel is basically a carbon steel that contain between 0.30 to 0.6%. So it contains 0.30 to 0.60% of the carbon in it, and it also has manganese content between the range 0.6 to 1.65%. On the other hand, this type of steel just provides a good balance between the strength and ductility. Ductility, it is the property in which that type of steel can be converted into wires. This property is called as ductility, or known as that steel is a ductile in nature. And it is common in many types of steel parts as well. On the other hand, if we have the comparison of the medium carbon steel with the mild steel, then that medium carbon steel, it is harder than the mild steel. On the other hand, it is highly malleable. Malleable means it can be easily converted into sheets as well as it is converted into wires. So it is highly ductile in nature. So the main uses of that medium carbon steel we have, it is used in making the different types of rails. It is used in the making up axles as well as it is used in the process of casting. So these are the three main uses of the medium carbon steel. After this we have the last one type, which is the high carbon steel. Now the high carbon steel, what is the main percentage of carbon which is present in it? That high carbon steel contains 0.60 to 1.0% of the carbon with manganese content in it that just range from 0.30 to 0.90%. On the other hand, that high carbon steel are also used for spring materials and high strength wires. So this is the picture which are being required for a very heavy work. Here we use the wires that are made up of the high carbon steel. Now the high carbon steel, it is much harder as compared to the other types of the steel, which is the mild and the medium carbon steel. On the other hand, that steel is being used for the making up of hammers. It is used in the making up of taps, in the use of dies, used for the preparation of the cutting tools, as well as it is used in making up the machine tools that needs too much strength. On the other hand, it is also used in the manufacturing of the hard parts of machinery that they all needed by different sorts of engines as well. So steel is basically is intermediate between the carbon content and between the cast iron as well as the wrought iron that we have. So this was a simple topic that we have today. I hope you guys understand. And if you have any queries, you may ask me about that in the comment section and I will get back to you guys soon. The next topic that we will discuss, it is the simple manufacturing of the steel. For that time, you guys keep learning and have a good day.